Welcome back, 5 Aces.
Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. 6 games down, 2 more to go. This is the tale of a showdown between one of the most prolific players in the OpenRA scene right now and a newcomer who has indeed been confirmed to be a newcomer, apparently with a StarCraft 2 background, so that all makes sense, it all lines up. The transition over from StarCraft is kind of smooth, the APM requirements are a little bit lower, even though they're artificially inflated for StarCraft 2, but be that as it may. Introducing our players the same as the last 2 weeks, it is Blackened, aka Whitened. He's probably renamed himself to avoid any sort of controversy. I actually don't know the origins of his name, by the way. Just spitballing here. And he's up against FazzerX, who has chosen the Brits this time around and has also kind of cloned Angie's color scheme, almost. It's a bit more into the purplish than it was for Angie, who is a bit more pink, I guess. Anyway, this map here is called Pulverize, a new ladder map, and a good position so far from FazzerX. Some force fire coming out as well. Ooh, the engineer has been all but forgotten about, abandoned, but barely manages to hightail it out of there. So the reason why it's sometimes hard to select them is because they have lower selection priority. For those of you who don't know. Oh, but Blackened building a late kennel and a late dock. That is super smart, because the Oil Derrick and the Flame Tower haven't been taken yet. And if he doesn't misplay this with the misposition of the dog, then this is just going to be a complete wipe. Or at least pushing him off. Yeah, this is just beautiful. Meticulous play with the attack dog. A late attack dog. This is such a smart move. Many people open with an attack dog, and this usually results... Oh my goodness, the slaughter. This usually just results in you being behind in the infantry count, but what Blackened did is build a barracks, pump out, I think, 15 rifles, and then go for a late dog plus an engineer. It's a bit of more on the expensive side, so you can basically only afford this on 2 harvester welfare, but the economy is standing strong, and this is a good early game infantry build, one that I haven't tried myself yet, but on paper this is just so smart. Yeah, good adaptation here. Forces out a lot more rifles and taking down the barrels as well, so this leaves us with a lot of army combat early on already. Yeah, 500 ahead, not the biggest deal in the world. The medic obviously is no match for the dog. Oh yeah, scouts being picked off yet again. The explosive barrel trap, oh, that was a nice attempt, but just barely out of range are Blackened's forces. And he can now afford to inch ever closer. So around the derricks this can't be fought because there is a flame tower and there's also line of sight from the derricks as soon as they're claimed. But Blackened found such a good window here. Oh, rockets have been revealed. Yeah, Fazzer going for some really good positioning here. Hugging his Oil Derrick. Oh! Okay, that is a dead. This is actually super smart from Fazzer. So basically, he knew that there were rockets in this composition. Oh my goodness, the Ranger can get insane value here. Oh, that's so juicy. That is 900 for the Ranger already. And the APC can't match that. It can play 52 pickup, trade a little bit of its health for a lot of infantry kills, that's fine. But it cannot match up to the 900 killed here. Ooh, good crush though. And the rockets are starting to come out. So really good timing on the Ranger. And FazzerX basically recognized the situation here. With the dog, with the rockets being fired, with the rockets firing at the infantry. This was just go time for him. He knew he had the rifle superiority. And super smart. I would actually not have done that. I would have hugged the Derrick. Kept hugging it until the first tank would have rolled in and crushed everything. But FazzerX just going for the throat here. Super smart. And as a result, he's kind of evened out that plays. Now 700 ahead actually. Ooh. Army value is also looking good. And this is a Gren APC from Blackened. My goodness. Gren APC flak truck. He is throwing everything and the kitchen sink at FazzerX. Right now we're at a 4-2, by the way. Let's see if that is about to change. I mean, it's about to change either way, but is it going to change? Is it going to tip the scales in favor of FazzerX or not? That's the big question here. Alright, Oil Derrick being claimed as well. Blackened with his camouflage colors. I really think that is a... Ooh, the Grenadiers got revealed here! No kiting from the rifle, but still takes down the Grenadiers with relative ease. Only 3 of them remaining, 2 going down already. 5 Harvesters plus an MCV, so FazzerX is in a good economical spot. Ooh, he also has somehow Shift Q to his barracks hotkey, a rally point. You can do that. Not extremely useful, but sometimes you can make those snake lines. Make some ley lines across the map. MCV from Blackened is a little bit delayed because courtesy of this little traffic jam here. And this is gonna allow Fazzer to basically set up an ambush. Oh, he's got double light vehicle combination. But Blackened has safely deployed. Not yet. Uh-oh. Oh, he's moving over the ore. If FazzerX keeps close to... Yeah, that is super smart. This MCV should not be able to deploy. My goodness! Blackened! You completely dropped the ball here. He sent... That was kind of greedy. He sent the MCV over I was about to say Tiberium. It's not blue tip. It is simply ore. Oh, what a timing window here. Traded for a lot of army, obviously, but this means that there is not going to be an expansion out. And I presume that Blackened now has to move out his original MCV. Yeah, does indeed. Has to restart his build queue, so he should be floating like crazy. Not yet, but it is bound to happen. 5 Harvesters under 7 now. Really, really good positioning from FazzerX and really good position in the game now as well. Through the middle comes a scary army though, and FazzerX's forces are split. This is kind of the Sun Tzu divide and the divide and conquer move, right? You basically try to set it up, even if you have an inferior army. The way you can win is you pull apart your opponent, be where your opponent isn't, and as a result, FazzerX is stretched very thin. Needs to defend on multiple fronts at once, and it is very, very tough to get that done. Ranger is being sacrificed. Not sure if I agree with that one necessarily. Still such a compact infantry formation, and the Husks are now starting to tangle up the pathing. Ooh, out comes a turret. That was not the right answer for this push here. Oh, is this gonna be a swing back in Blackened's favor? Angle of attack was really bad, yeah. Oh, and he GG's out of there. I feel like that was not necessary. That is a 5-2 now. I think this was FazzerX's game to take. This was just a misplay on his part. He was not sure which angle the attack would be coming from, so just a little tidbit. If you're in this position, just try and scout with a Ranger. Try and scout for any army movement that your opponent may throw at you. Man, that was brutal. FazzerX having such a staggering early game lead, and then transitioning into an MCV loss and an army wipe. RIP. Okay, 5-2, and we're gonna be back with the next game. See you in a hot second.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
This now is game number... What is that? 8. Yeah, game number 8. Between Blackened, who has spawned in as France, and FazzerX, who is still going for the Brits. By the way, what nationality is he? Oh, that doesn't show that anymore, huh? Used to, when the IPs were made public. Multiline is Kazoo? Did he just register a new forum account? Because I'm pretty sure Kazoo had a forum account. Or maybe it's just someone posing as Kazoo. I'm not entirely sure. But someone has said in the comments earlier that Multiline is Kazoo, so I'll take the random user's word for it. Medic first. Not sure about that Blackened. That is certainly a ballsy maneuver. Let's see if that pays off. This map here we've seen before, Toxicity. With the green sludge in the middle. This just looks like a Batman Arkham Asylum, where Joker was allowed to go ham on the map. Yeah, overall a very solid map, with the corner expansions being tugged away, so you can relatively easily defend them. The middle oil derrick provides a little bit of line of sight, but no safety whatsoever. Blackened is going for a cutoff. Okay, interesting. This is kind of an attempt at a backstab. But smartly, FazzerX has stashed away his infantry. So he's not gonna catch much of the infantry of FazzerX in transit. Again, this just boils down to game sense. You're not facing any opposition, so there's two options. Either they're rushing a war factory and they don't have an army out, or the army is elsewhere. And option number 2 is the correct one. Perfect angle though, so this is going to be a complete wipe very soon. And there is a line of sight advantage from the Derrick. So the medic is allowed to basically pay for itself. Okay, surprising. So basically at this point, FazzerX... Ooh, Blackened is going for a Radar Dome rush off of 2 harvesters. This is a special tactics. Special helipad tactics. This can fall apart very easily. I love this build. It is so fun to play. Used to be so fun to play when Blackhawks were still called Hinds back in the days and they were still ridiculously broken. That is no longer the case. But you need to keep up in the eco department, and this is where it can all fall apart super easily. Especially because your opponent is allowed to expand freely. So if they get their first MCV out basically without any pressure, then they can just take them up from there. And helicopters have the tendency of falling apart against base defenses and against tanks, and that's what a tier 1.5 player is going to build. So you really need to be specific and deliberate about what you snipe. Mainly, you're looking for rocket infantry. You're looking to decimate the enemy ground forces and then move in with your army and just take an engagement win from there. Also, the econ, that is going to leave you high and dry because this is only 3 harvesters now. No war factory in sight, so maybe he even has to go for a 4th refinery. This is obviously up in the air. There's a lot of variation here, your mileage may vary. Another weak point of this, obviously, other than just being sniped, tech sniped, is that you only have 2 helipads, and usually you don't go for the 3rd until much later on, so even if you manage to get some good picks with the helicopters, it is still gonna take you a lot of time to rearm. Plus, I don't like this map for this type of gameplay because it is just so large, and the helicopters aren't gonna be able to cover the entire map. As a result, your opponent is probably gonna be able to take pretty much everything. Yep, helicopter has been revealed. They have been speed nerfed, so they're being outrun by the Ranger by a mile. By a country mile. Blackened's infantry is just scouting the perimeter. There is some... All the oil derricks have been claimed. Yeah. So what he can do now is just camp the barracks, and that's fine. Not the biggest of deals. Not the best trade deal in the history of trade deals. Okay, that's very smart. Pillboxes are coming out. Ore trucks are being forced off though. Okay, so I see what he's doing. He's trying to camp the ore trucks. So basically this just nullifies the income advantage that FazzerX had. Really good. But pillboxes can obviously come out relatively easily. And here is the counter push. Yep, what you gonna do? You've got tanks in your base, my friend. Behind on auto fire. And the crash does not take anything down here. Really good value from the Blackhawk. I'm so used to saying Hind. It is a Blackhawk. Ooh, 1 ore truck down, but no more than this, and thus the aggression is stifled. MCV has gotten out, so this just means that Blackened is now on a timer. He cannot expand in the foreseeable future. He's building a service depot now, but it's still gonna take 20 seconds plus another 40 for the MCV. So he's going to be ridiculously behind in the expansion timings. FazzerX, however, does not have the best income right now. I mean, neither does Blackened, right? The oil derrick situation is also favoring Fazzer, so he should be ahead in terms of the raw value anyway. Yeah, 3k lead, but he needs to capitalize on this. He needs to pop down a couple of refineries and get an income advantage now. Because with Hinds, you can trade positively against this army. Okay, the scouting ground coming in. You basically saw almost everything you wanted. Did not see the service depot though. Yep, he's still in the dark about this one. But he has seen the construction yard has remained at the main spawn. So this just means that there's not going to be an expansion out yet. Emphasis on yet. Right now it's just playing defensively. This is something I don't like. The army value is going to be crazy for Blackened. Yep, 8.5 over 4.8k. is indeed elite. But the overall value, obviously, with the base, with the ore refineries, is going to favor Fazzer. Okay, sniping ore refineries, not the worst thing in the world. And it's really hard to defend against. You need basically, you need radar tech yourself, otherwise you're not going to really accomplish much. Out comes the MCV from Blackened now, and this is the basically the counter expansion that has been 5 minutes in the making. This needs time to pay off though. Blackened, however, does have his economy set up, mostly. Fazzer is going for a radar dome just now. He still needs to play defensively because he is going to get wiped by the Hinds otherwise. Ooh, nasty. Tank has found an angle onto the ore trucks. You can poke away at landed Blackhawks, by the way, they take a staggering amount of damage. Good micro from the Blackhawks, from Blackened. Ah! Caster's Curse! That is bound to happen. This is probably going to be an anti-air gun on the ready now, yeah. Oh, it's been kind of buffed in a way that it only needs 50 power now. It used to take 70 and it used to be so expensive in terms of power. You needed so much real estate with a late game allied base that you needed basically like 5 or 6 advanced power plants. This used to scale out of control, but with only 5, without the 50 power requirement, that's not as bad anymore. SAM sites, by the way, are getting buffed in the next patch, or have been getting buffed as of this patch. And they now have a longer range, which is probably a good change. Rocket soldiers warding off the tank. However, the ore truck is getting dangerously low. I don't know about tank number 2. Yeah, he's also being sent back. But he has basically scouted that there is not really anything here. You know what would shut this down really hard? Transition into tier 3 and go for radar jammers, because there's barely any armor. Ooh, radar jammers would be so sexy against all the rockets that Blackened is relying on for anti-tank. This, however, is going to be a really good flank already. Blackened doesn't have this on the radar. Quite literally doesn't. Okay, the scouts have been intercepted. Oh, the 1-2 punch. Well, this got swiftly defeated. However, what you're gonna do about the actual... that was just the distraction. Here comes the actual main wave. I think he has to go, he must go for the Conyard immediately. Tanks haven't been moving. So the income is now gonna be in the gutter for Blackened, but FazzerX needs to defend, and he's up against very much overwhelming forces right now. Ooh, the helicopters are getting mad value. Okay. Hinds are Blackhawks are being sacked. Sacrificial pawns. Oh, it's so smart. FazzerX has relocated into the back with his MCV. This is unlikely to get scouted immediately. Really good call, and I think that's going to be enough time bought for the pillboxes to whittle away at the army. Really, really smart positioning. I love what FazzerX has been doing here. The ore truck is still alive. Holy smokes. This one is going hard. Yep, I think the attack is starting to dry up. And this is going to be a pretty solid mid-game lead, I would say, for FazzerX. Blackened has deployed a Conyard right in the front lines. I'm not sure about this one. Friendo, you're fighting into a base. Yo dog, I heard you like bases, so put a base inside your base. Man, what was that series called? Pimp My Ride memes? Are they still a thing? Tanya, he's rushed tier 3! Oh my goodness! Is this gonna be the reverse sweep? Is this gonna be Tanya as the Kingmaker? Holy smokes. If this were chess, he would have just pulled another queen out of his arse. Randomly getting a pawn and transforming him into a queen. Holy smokes. What a timing. What a timing window here. Tanya going to town. Just watching the explosions around her. Man, that was brilliant play from Blackened. Gotta say, my man. trying out some new strats, and the shoe seems to fit. Surprise pillbox? Nope. This could have been an easy snipe on Tanya. Well, so there is a distinct disadvantage here for Fazzer, but he's not out of it just yet. We take a look at the economy. Still fairly even, and he has earned a lot more. Plus he's on 6 harvesters over 4. There's a little bit of aggression coming in. Where's it going? Yeah, I don't think this is going to amount to much. Tanya just chipping away at the infantry from range. FazzerX is losing his income advantage. That is going to be a problem. Very soon, Blackened's front lines have started crumbling. Okay, it appears to me that FazzerX has learned about stop command because of the way the rockets were firing on behind. And there's a tense game and both players at 0 cash. Both players completely broke. This is a Hail Mary. Is that an expansion or a base push? Expansion it is. Alright. So Blackened is moving down with his MCV. He's not gonna get intercepted by the tank. Again, FazzerX is moving out with his army. Should not do that, to be honest. He just needs to play defense on this side. Okay, a little distraction run with this tank. Another tank going into the middle and trying to tackle another one of the O-trucks. And here comes the hidden base. I'm quite honestly not convinced that this is gonna work out. But what else? What other options does he have? Blackened has basically taken his half of the map, plus then some. At the end of the day, I was just stuck in a little traffic jam here. Does not go down. Okay, out comes the ore truck. Relocating here, the Conyard. It is such a perilous time to be FazzerX right now. He needs to defend somehow. No, this base is forfeit. Straight up, there's nothing he can do here. Can't transition his army in time. Needs to either sell his Conyard or move it back. Taking a beating. Oof. But the speed advantage is still on his side, so... No! Oh my goodness. Oh no. He's being dismantled, isn't he? Army moving around the top side. Basically circumnavigating the wall. Ooh, the artillery can't be hit over the ridge. This is a very dangerous position. He's trying for some Hail Mary shots, thus far not landing. Maybe Fazzer should have used some force fire here. But he's now so behind that I fear for him. I don't think this is gonna be recoverable anymore. Losing his mining base topside was just the last straw that broke the camel's back, I feel. Tanya! Ooh, she dies, okay. That is big. So this engagement can maybe be won. Yeah, FazzerX just barely has enough gas left in the tank. Enough infantry left on the board. Just barely to squeeze out a victory here. Tanya is back to being on the build queue though. As soon as she's in, that's gonna be a problem. What's the economy looking like? Blackened doesn't have money for Tanya right now. This is gonna be a timing window to snipe the Conyard. Okay! Tanya almost ready, good to go. There she is. There is the helicopter, but it's too late. Or is it? For now, just barely in time. Wizard is always on time. Oh, but Blackened has another MCV. So this main base has basically been abandoned, but that is not intel that that Fazzer can get his hands on right now. So he's incredibly far behind here. Fazzer has earned 20k more, but it's looking so bleak for him now. Blackened has gotten back up to his econ. Man, what a play. The tier 3 transition off of being super behind in econ was just brilliant. That gave him so much space. FazzerX was just forced to defend. against the almighty Tanya. Right, here's a backstab yet again. Longbow. That is a good choice. Just caught that off the tail end. Longbow just means you can snipe harvesters and tanks, as well as just ward off against MCV pushes. And this anti-airgun of doom, basically denying any exit point for the helicopters. They cannot get out on the map at all. The MCV has been spotted. Yeah, but nothing you can do about it. You can't deploy here. Oh, what is this? What is he doing? He's trying to snipe Tanya. He gets Tanya, but that's just delaying the inevitable. Topside, he gets 2 harvesters down. Okay. Maybe gets the MCV as well. This game's still up in the air, still on a knife's edge. But so many infantry kills here. The helicopter ineffectively firing at the tank. And that is probably gonna spell doom here. On the top side, yeah, it's looking good, but the artillery is gonna eventually whittle down this infantry blob. And I think that's gonna be the end of that. Yeah, shells are starting to rain in here. Force fire is good, but not good enough. GG, what a game. Blackened, my man, just standing strong, standing tall, with his cheese build falling incredibly behind early on. Almost impossible to catch it back up from, but he managed to do the impossible. Really well played, and FazzerX just got hit hard by the tier 3 transition. He was ahead in econ, he was ahead in assets, just had the smaller army, and then Tanya just kept pushing into his base and basically just, yeah, decimating his army time and again, to the point where it was unwinnable. Yeah. What you can do in this situation is maybe try and find a flank, but he was so busy defending that the thought never struck his mind. And he tried to come in via the north, but that was very well defended. Just a couple rockets were enough to ward off the tanks, and infantry were not mobile enough. So really, really smart gameplay from Blackened. That was just a masterclass in tech play and transition. Alright, that puts us at a, I believe, 6-2, but really respectable from FazzerX. How well he fought here, proving himself against the RGL vice champion. I believe it was vice champion in season 13, right? Speaking of which, the signups are still open. So if you wanna get a shot at cash prices, hot cash prices, and also at really, really good competitive OpenRA, then sign up right now. No sign up bonus. Use the code 5aces to get a 10% discount on your Blackhawks. Kappa Pride. No, but in all seriousness, in all due seriousness, sign up for RHL. It's a ton of fun. And somebody has yet again asked, can't we use the remastered assets for Red Alert? No, we can't, because of the flak truck and some other assets that are custom made and do not have an equivalent in the 4K remastered assets. We can do so for Tiberian Donda. Next series is also going to be FazzerX against someone else, another known quantity in the OpenRA cinematic universe. Thank you for watching. Until then, stay hyped. I'll see you next time. 5aces, out.
Battle control terminated.